We're flying high today, and it's time for Rich Kaplan in our aviation segment. Rich Kaplan.
Thank you, Howie, as always. Good evening, Long Beach. Good evening, Dix Hills. Good evening, Massapequa Park. The skies above us are clear, so we've just been cleared for takeoff. Let's fly. On this edition, for the first time, it's rare that we ever see incidents that happen abroad affecting us. But this incident is going to have a profound effect, as I personally have seen, on the aviation industry in relation to recreational drones. And I'm about to explain. Drama strikes an airplane over London's Heathrow International Airport. British Airways Flight 727 from Geneva was approaching Heathrow on Sunday afternoon, that's about a week ago, when a drone struck the front of the plane. Now, this is most likely what the drone would have looked like. This is my personal drone. This is a Wakera QRX 350 Pro. You'll start to see this more and more on the show because this is going to be our Skycam. So I figured I might as well christen it. Just sad that it's happening when the skies above us are purple. Dedicating that to Prince. Anyway, the plane was 1,700 feet in the air, and so was the drone. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that these drones can operate at altitudes as high as 4,500 feet, which is hard to imagine. Now, the A320 was able to land safely with all of 132 passengers and 5 crew on board. No injuries were reported, according to a spokesperson for British Airways. The incident highlights the real dangers of drones and airplanes operating in the same airspace. As I'm about to illustrate, this is far more serious than most people realize, because these drones have movable parts. As you can see here, you have 4 rotors acting contra to one another. Now, if this was to fly in the path of an airliner and get sucked into the jet engine, this little piece that you're seeing can bring down a Boeing 747-400. Hard to believe, but true. It's been tested. The theory is real. We've seen birds bring down B-1 bombers, and birds are about the same size as a drone. So I want to illustrate just how important it is to register your drones. So anyone who owns a drone, you may have heard the FAA is now requiring you to register it. This is for your protection, as well as for the protection of the recreational flyers, as well as commercial flyers like all of us. All you have to do is you go on to www.faa.gov. Again, the website is www.faa.gov. Follow the links for drones, and it'll simply guide you to the registration process. It's about $5, but it's worth every penny. $5 will give you peace of mind. Now, they've searched the area for debris from the drone, but nothing was ever found. Now, what has really brought attention is where they believe this drone was launched from. Now, in London, there are 8 royal parks. These are parks that are designated by the royal family. One of them is known as Richmond. Richmond is in southwestern London. If you've ever been to London, England, that's where Heathrow International Airport is. It's about 20 miles outside of London. Now, there was no warning, there was no indication that this drone was even operating, because as you can see by the size of it, it doesn't really put out a radar detection. It's a small aircraft, about the same radar as that of a bird. So they probably thought it was a bird, and the pilot immediately radioed Heathrow, told them that a drone struck the aircraft. There was no damage to the aircraft. This could have been far worse had this got sucked into the engine. If it got sucked into the engine, the plane certainly would have crash landed. For those not familiar with London Heathrow happens to sit adjacent to one of the busiest motorways in the entire country of England. You could have had an incident similar to that of British Midland, where the British Midland jet slammed into the highway, killing about 80 people. That's why this is a very serious situation. Now, for our viewers, as you always know, I not only give you the facts, I give you statistics as well. In the United States, hundreds of drones have flown dangerously close to manned aircraft in U.S. airspace. Now, I was fortunate enough to talk to someone in the Federal Aviation Administration who gave me a copy of a report. I didn't bring the report, but I broke it down for you. A recent report based by the Federal Aviation Administration data shows that from August 21st to January 31st, 2016, there were 519 incidents involving commercial airplanes and drones. 519. That was just in the United States. Now, to give you a staggering statistic, this is going to really blow your mind. That's 3 times as many incidents as last year. Same period. This is a very serious situation. It is one that has to be addressed. It is one that needs to be looked at thoroughly by the Federal Aviation Administration. New York City has banned operation of recreational drones. The police will literally write you tickets if you're operating. So more emphasis on enforcement needs to be done. Now, my second story involves one of the most popular jetliners that we're seeing flying currently, the Boeing 787. Recently, Boeing announced that they are issuing a voluntary recall regarding the 787's engines relating to de-icing. Now, de-icing doesn't affect us right now because we're entering spring, thank the Lord. I'm actually wearing short sleeves, so. But in countries like Norway, where Norwegian has a large fleet of 787 Dreamliners, the de-icing probes on the engines are going to be replaced. Boeing will replace all of them. Boeing, I think, needs to be applauded for this. I think they have taken a very strong initiative. If it had been Airbus, I don't know if Airbus would have done this. Airbus, I recall, covered up the incident regarding the 380. They tried to hush it. So, you know, industry has finally become complacent. And I've said on many occasions, as long as there's blood in my veins, I will police this industry vigorously to make sure they do the right thing. And finally, I like to educate because I like to put the information part into the information entertainment section. So here's your information for today. Our term of the day is flaperon. Now, it sounds like something you'd wear out to like a prom. Oh, hon, I'm going to go wear the flaperon. Nope. A flaperon is a leading edge flap on the front of the wing of a Boeing 777. A flaperon would look like this. It comes down and provides aerodynamics for the pilot so that the pilot can slice the air when he makes his approach to land. So a flaperon provides stability to the aircraft as well as additional aerodynamics, allowing the pilot to take an approach at around 150 to 200 miles an hour. Now, you may not realize that's how fast they're going when they're coming in, about 150 to 200 miles an hour. So a flaperon plays a vital role, and they recovered one from Malaysian Flight 370, which is even more important because that tells us he was trying to ditch. So that's your term of the day, flaperon. On that note, you've just been cleared for takeoff. Have a wonderful weekend. And I want to send out a very important happy birthday to my very best friend, Chris Stein in Florida. Chris, I love you, brother. Without you, we would not have a clear for takeoff. So, Chris, you've given me the wings. I'm giving you the results of those wings. Thank you, brother. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Good job. Great job, Rich Kaplan.